and tonight I'm teaching first aid with essential oils, and it's one of my favorite classes because it's my opinion that every single mom needs to start with this class. You need to know the basics. Welcome to the first aid toolkit class. It's one of my favorites. It's important that we're prepared. If you know my story at all, you know that a couple weeks ago, my husband had a stroke, and it was such a blessing that I had already taken this class and had all the information, and I had exactly what I needed to stop his stroke mid-stroke so that it did not cause damage. So it is important that we are prepared. Um, and so tonight you're going to learn a lot of things. So listen fast, but we'll also have this recording for you. One of the first um, issues with first aid when you're a mommy is cuts and scrapes. And jumping right into this, lavender and geranium and rose ointment are, get rid of this. Some of the oils you want to keep in your first aid kit because lavender is for bumps, bruises, bobos, and bug bites. Geranium will stop bleeding. So if you have gushing of blood, it is a good one to have on hand to put on the wound. I have a friend whose child hit the back of the fireplace, and his head fell back and hit the back of the brick fireplace, and he was just gushing blood. And she is very much a seasoned oiler and just couldn't think about what to do in that moment. But she had trained her children really well. And one of her kids ran over to the oil cabinet and grabbed the oil she knew would stop the bleeding, which that particular oil that the child grabbed was, I think it was geranium. But the other oils that do also stop bleeding are cypress and helichrysum. So in the case of bleeding and you need to get to an emergency room to get stitches, have on hand geranium, cypress, or helichrysum. Okay, and rose ointment is great also for cuts and scrapes. So those are your cuts and scrapes. Here's a little testimony with a scrape. This is my friend Nancy. In her 70s, she is now in her 80s, but when she was in her 70s, she burned herself pretty badly. You can see on the left how bad that burn is. She used lavender on her wound, and she used it just a little bit and over a month, like not necessarily every single day, but she did use it right after the injury happened, and she used it consistently throughout the month. And a month later, there was not even a scar. So lavender is great for healing wounds and helping those scars to erase. Okay, the first aid issues that we are typically dealing with, besides cuts and scrapes, are bleeding, bruises, burns, broken bones, carbon monoxide poisoning, concussion, coma, dehydration, oops, there's a typo, diarrhea, diabetic coma, eye infection, fever, food poisoning, gangrene, headaches, head injury, heart attack, heat exhaustion, insect bite, nausea, nosebleed, puncture wound, snake bite, spinal injury, sunburn, ticks, toothache, and toxemia. And I can tell you there are oils for all of these things. It is important you're learning the basics tonight. You're not going to have 150 oils with you at all times to take care of these things. But I do recommend that you see me in this book. If you are serious about helping your family naturally, getting the latest essential oils desk reference, I'm so impressed with the amount of information in this book and the stories presented, the anecdotal stories in here, which are so helpful. Okay. Essential oils they're the ideal first aid toolkit. They're ideal in a first aid toolkit because they're safe. And a lot of times when a mom is panicking, you're not sure what to do. Anyway, they're easily available, they're easy to carry, they're easy to apply, they're easy to dose, and they have a long shelf life, and they're fast acting. Before I was, as crunchy as I am now, whenever my kids would get sick, I would reach for pharmaceuticals. And I remember one time my son, Gray, he was sick and he had fever and he didn't feel well. And I grabbed Motrin and it was expired. And I gave it to him and he threw up all over my needlepoint rug. And I remember looking at that bottle thinking, ugh, I could have poisoned him, but his body got rid of it because it was expired. What a mess I caused. And like I made him feel worse. But that's the beautiful thing about essential oils is when you're a tired mom and you're not constantly looking, you don't have to constantly be looking at the expiration date because oils last for thousands of years. They will outlive you. They will outlive me. So you can have your first aid kit cabinet. That's like an heirloom healthcare to pass on to your children. Don't worry about buying too many. Is it possible to have too many essential oils? I don't think so. I really don't think it is because whatever we don't use, we can pass on. And the beautiful thing about oils is also that they are safe and it's not necessarily like this oil for this ailment. A lot of times the best oil is the nearest oil. Yes, there will be oils that are more ideally matched for different ailments, but it's better to use the nearest oil than no oil at all. So don't be afraid of your oils. They're fast acting, they're safe, you cannot mess them up. I'll give you some safety rules in a bit. So they are fat soluble, steam distilled plant extracts composed of small aromatic compounds. So they permeate through the skin very quickly. They're within the bloodstream within 3 seconds, and they peak at about 20 minutes. So if you're in a physical crisis, you can be applying oils to the bottom of the feet or on your spine every 20 minutes. You're not going to overdose on them. Now, um, you don't have to take the oils every 20 minutes, but that's in the case of, say you are. Um, if I was, I'll use myself as an example. Like if I was with a family member and they were in the hospital and they had um, gangrene or they had staph infection or they had something that was really scary and they're in the hospital and medications don't work like oils. Oils, they oxygenate the blood and they target the sickness and they just reset the cells. They do so many beautiful things and they're safe. I would personally take my Bible oils, my ancient oils of the Bible oils, that kit, and I would put it on the bottom of my loved one's feet every 20 minutes. That is what I would do. So know that they're going to, if something is hot, like for instance, I had a couple grandsons over today and they were running fever. So I put oils on the bottom of their feet and on their back. And one of them said, "Oh, it's hot, it's hot. The oils are hot." And I said, "You'll be fine." And it will stop being hot in about 20 minutes. So it stopped being hot before then, but you can just know that. And of course, I added more fatty oil to cool that down. Okay, so pure essential oils are safe, synthetic oils are not. There is a difference. So tonight, when you learn, like you learned with Nancy, that the lavender oil helped her burn heal rather quickly and thoroughly and did not leave a scar. If you were to go to the grocery store and pick up a lavender oil to have in your kitchen to use on a burn, chances are you will make that burn worse. And you don't want to do that. You want the authentic, pure essential oil that is safe, that is straight from the plant, because we are made from the dust of the earth. And these plants, the essential oils, are from the dust of the earth. And so our body recognizes the compounds and the constituents from the oil, and our bodies know exactly what to do with that. Well, when you put a synthetic oil made in a lab to smell like a real plant on your body's like, hold up, that's not the thing, like, what is that? And I've seen synthetic oils cause burns and rashes and splotches. And so definitely don't take this information and go buy cheap oils. I'm only talking about Young Living essential oils tonight because I know without a shadow of a doubt how Young Living sources. I know how they distill. I know their standard, and they are the purest, safest, and strongest that I have found, and they've worked for my family for approximately 18 years now. Okay, and they're small aromatic compounds in essential oils that penetrate the body quickly. Synthetic or adulterated essential oils can carry toxins into the body. And therapeutic oils are produced by carefully monitoring all stages of oil production. The 4 Ps, plants, preparation, purity, and potency, are essential. So if an oil is synthetic, it's not made from a plant. And that's rule number one. We need a clean plant that doesn't have pesticides in it. And the way it's prepared is so important. Okay, moving right along. Okay, back to injuries. Sprains and strains. This is pretty common, especially when you're raising kids or you have a husband who's, who likes to play ball, likes to run, likes to exercise. I probably help people recover from sprains and strains as much as coughs, that type of thing. So, Panaway, Valor, and Peppermint are great oils to have in your first aid kit. Um, you might want to take notes because I'm going to throw out a lot of oils. I'm happy to share this PowerPoint with you so you can take the oils directly from it. But there are other oils that you can use on sprains and strains. Aroma CS is great. I always pair peppermint with whatever I'm using on a sprain or a strain because peppermint, it feels so good on that type of injury and it is an accelerator. So it takes whatever oil you are applying to an injury and it makes it work like 10 times more. I also like to use Copaiba because it helps with bruising also, and it helps with pain. If you look in the EODR, the essential oils desk reference, you'll see that it's one of those oils that helps with pain. So there are a number of combination of oils that you can use for sprains and strains. If you just want to keep it simple and use the basic kit oils, that will be Panaway, Valor, and Peppermint. But I have to say that I do like Aroma Ciez and rosemary and cypress and peppermint. There are some other ones that I really like for those things. Okay, fevers. Out of the basic kit that you will get off the website, which is the best kit to start with, you'll use peppermint, lemon, and thieves. And if you're working with children, make sure that those go on the bottom of the feet because both peppermint and lemon are hot. They're hotter than thieves. So you can layer them and you can put them down the spine, but if you're going to put those oils down the spine, make sure that you put a fatty oil on top of it or put it on first, whatever. The fatty oil will be either like coconut oil or olive oil or just something with a fatter molecule that is going to sit on top of the skin. The essential oil molecules are so tiny, they will not sit on top of the skin. They will go into the skin pretty quickly. So that fatty oil is going to give a slower release of the essential oil into the system, and it will cool down the heat of the essential oil. So love these. Once again, peppermint is extremely versatile and great to reduce a fever. Okay, coughs and colds. Raven, frankincense, and lemon. Raven is known for helping like loosening junk in the chest. Frankincense is just a fantastic wellness oil. Some people use it every single day. It's also a beauty oil, but it's just an overall great oil. When in doubt, pull Frank out. It's one of those oils you don't want to run out of ever. If you're not, in my opinion, if you don't know what to use frankincense. It's not hot. It's very soothing and it does help boost the immune system. Lemon also helps to break up colds. Now, I will say, I think that DiGize should be listed on coughs and colds on this slide because we use DiGize just as much as we use Raven or RC. RC and Raven are interchangeable. RC stands for respiratory congestion. Raven has real similar oils in it. But DiGize, while it is made, the combo is made for the digestive system. What we have discovered in our home is that when we put it between the shoulder blades on the back, when someone has a cough, it helps to break that cough up and move it out quicker. We had a testimony in my Facebook group this week of a young mom who wasn't getting any sleep because she was coughing and her children were coughing. And so she went on the page and she heard somebody else's testimony about DiGize and she applied DiGize between the shoulder blades. And she was so excited about her results, she had to let us know that they slept for the first time all night. with not even one more cough. So DiGi should be listed on this slide. Okay, stomach attacks. There we go. Peppermint, DiGi's, lemon again. DiGi's some people will say, very few people will tell you they like the smell. Most people will tell you, ooh, it stinks. But once you have a good experience with it, you will love it and you will never want to do without it. A lot of people will get a stomach ache because of the glyphosates in the food, and DiGi's has been shown to negate, nuke, zero out glyphosates. So if you're eating out and you're eating bread, and you know it's not organic, I mean, even some organic bread, you know, will have glyphosates. If you know that it's glyphosates that bother you and not the gluten, or maybe even both, DiGi's in capsules, DiGi's in your belly button. DiGi's, if you use it too consistently on your belly button, you might get a little bit of irritation because it can be a little bit warm. Just add a fatty oil or choose to take it in a capsule. But it's fantastic for constipation, for diarrhea, and just for plain old stomach aches from American food. And peppermint is great too. I like to put peppermint in capsules, especially if I know I've had a meal that, you know, some meals cause gas and you're going to burp. If you are out and about and you know that's going to happen, peppermint is a great oil to take because if you're going to burp, at least it will smell fresh, right? Okay, burns. We covered this. Lavender, Lavaderm, and Copaiba. I just love Copaiba. So lavender is very calming. So if they get a burn, and it, you know, God forbid it's a child, not only is it helping to restore that burn area, but it's also so calming to the nerves, which I think is important in these types of situations. Lavaderm is a spray that, it's kind of a lotion-ish spray. And if you look on the website, you will see Lavaderm and what's the other one? There's another one, and I'll show you it. I moved my actual first aid kit, so I was using it on the boys in the other room. But there are two different Lavaderm sprays on the website, and they're both fantastic. You literally cannot go wrong. One of them is a clear spray. I think it's like
Lavaderm and Clariderm.
there's one more lava. It's
Oh,
like an after sun spray.
It's
So
the after sun, but I think it is actually called like lavender after sun spray. That one's so good.
yeah, so there's three. You literally cannot go wrong with those. Okay. They're all fantastic. One is like 65, one is 27, and one is 17. You're like, what's the price difference? The more expensive ones have like helichrysum and some stronger, you know, oils in them that do other things. But I keep all three of those and love all of them. And Copaiba, just to remember that one for pain. Copaiba is, we typically think of that one for like the teething child, a toothache, anything in the mouth that hurts, a throbbing toothache. I have a customer who she was on her way to the emergency room with her child because her child had such a bad toothache and they were not getting any peace. This child was screaming for a very long time. And she remembered, oh, Copaiba. On the way to the emergency room, she applied Copaiba to her child's mouth. And by the time they got to the emergency room, the child was no longer screaming. So she thought, why on earth did I not remember that earlier? So remember Copaiba for all types of injuries, whether it's, you know, a burn, a sprain, or a toothache. Just remember Copaiba. One of my grandsons today, they were wrestling, even though they have fever, they were wrestling, and one of them hit their head, you know, was crying. So that's the first oil that I grab when anyone hits their head, falls off a bike, has that type of injury, because it also resets the cells to normal. It's like, think of it like that plug. When the light goes out, you have to press the reset button. That's what Copaiba does. It resets the cells back to normal. Okay, bites and stings. Lavender purification and Lavaderm. So bites and stings, I'm sure that many people on this call probably have a personal story, because when you combine lavender and purification, you can't help but talk about it. If you've ever been stung by a bee or a wasp, lavender and purification together totally take the sting out, completely take the burn out. And if you put it on immediately, a lot of times, especially with mosquito bites and with some ants, not with fire ants, even the little red dot will go away if you get to it right after it happens. So remember that combo, lavender and purification for bites and stings. And then of course, lavender. Okay. Panic attacks. Unfortunately, I have a family who has panic attacks. So, peace and calming is really great for panic attacks, and Valor, put it on your neck, put it on your shoulders. It helps you stand up, it helps you with posture. It literally helps under a CT scan. It has been shown to help your spine to straighten up. And a lot of times we feel the way we present ourselves, and you know how that is. So if you can have better posture instead of, whatever you do in a panic attack, it will help to recover faster. One of my daughters who struggles with this, she swears by peppermint. She says that when she's having a panic attack, she feels like she cannot breathe, but peppermint helps to open up her airways and help her to feel like she's getting in more air. So Stress Away, Valor, Peace and Calming, or peppermint. Okay, some safety rules. Oops, sorry. Oil and water don't mix. If you get an oil in your eye, don't put soap on it, don't put water on it, put a fatty oil on it. Just remember, our first inclination is usually to go and splash water on whatever's hot. That will just make an oil hotter. So remember, have that fatty oil by. Babies and menthol don't mix. So make sure that, peppermint is always on their feet and you put socks on their feet. You don't want their hands to ever be able to grab their feet if you have put anything like that on the bottom of their feet, because it can cause them to go like that, and it'll take them a minute to be able to breathe again. And that's for a very young baby, not for a toddler. Okay, put it where the sun don't shine. Some oils are photosensitive, mostly citrus. So bergamot is photosensitive, lemon, orange, citrus fresh, anything that is kind of fruity, it will magnify this sun on your skin. So if you are applying lemon, be careful about putting lemon on your chest. I don't necessarily recommend that unless you have a shirt that's going to cover your chest. Okay. Now on to headaches. Frankincense, peppermint, and Valor. Headaches are, it just depends on, there are so many different types of headaches. So this is a generalization. If you're having a sinus headache, put that peppermint on your thumb, press it to the roof of your mouth, and breathe deeply. Or maybe, use a neti pot and put a drop of RC or whatever, like one of the lung oils in a neti pot, one drop, and put it up your nose. You could also do frankincense. That feels really good on your temples. And then of course, Valor on the nape of your neck. But like I said, headaches come from different reasons. They can be hormone headaches, sinus headaches. We could do a whole class on headaches and the different ways to treat headaches. So I think one of the first steps in getting rid of a headache is identifying the cause of the headache. Because if you're dealing with a hormone headache and you're treating it like a sinus headache, you won't necessarily get relief. So you need to know what is causing the pain. But this is just general. Okay, so most of you, I think, on the call you're already Oilers, and that's awesome. But I want to remind you about this kit. And say in the comments, let me know in the comments if you have ever purchased this kit before. This is the premium starter bundle, and I have been using Young Living essential oils for 18 years, and I have been selling essential oils for almost 10 years. And this is the #1 kit that I have sold over and over and over and over and over. I cannot tell you, I've sold it so many times because it's such a great,
Karen, I want to talk to you, but I can't.
hold on, let me mute Who is, Amy, can you mute her? Hold on a second. Let's see, mute. Sorry about that. Okay, okay, so, this is a great kit to get your friends started with. If you have never purchased it, I do recommend that you purchase it because it's got all your first aid oils in it. You can just take these oils and carry them in a bag this size. Okay, they're easy to carry. They're small, they don't expire, and I promise you will use them wherever you go. So if you don't have this kit, get this kit. If you want to get a friend, if you want to get a friend started, have them start with this kit. It's the best one. It also comes with a diffuser. Okay. If you're not on loyalty rewards, let me explain loyalty rewards to you. Loyalty rewards, I was on loyalty rewards before it was loyalty rewards. I was on loyalty rewards before they had any reward for being a loyalty customer. It was just an auto ship program. And it's just the easy button for wellness. And it's also financially the most prudent thing for the manager of a home to do. And if you are the woman of your home, you are the manager of your home. So instead of buying sporadically, if you do the slow and steady monthly purchasing, it's just you'll get points to use like cash, dollar for dollar. You'll get freebies in your box. One of the things I love about the loyalty rewards program is Young Living gives like free product each month, depending on if you spend $100, $200, $300. And because I have 11 children and I've been using them, for so many years, I've always reached for the 300. I'm like, I'm going to spend $300 a month because we're going to drink the Ningxia, we're going to take the supplements, we're going to use their toothpaste, we're going to use it. We're going to use their products all over our house. This is what we're doing. We're cleaning with them, we're using them on our body. And and I also have always done that because I've always wanted all of the freebies. And the beautiful thing about getting all of the freebies is they send things I would never purchase. And I've been able to learn about some products that I would have never, ever, ever even known existed that they had. Because Young Living has like what 500 products. They have a lot. So you can learn about the products also on the loyalty rewards program. So okay. Yes. So every week we do a class, and so it's a different topic each week. And our goal is to just empower you to use your oils on a daily basis and to not panic. What I have learned as a mom is that the more when I transitioned into you from medicinal to daily use, I stopped needing them for emergencies. We stopped having less sickness, if that makes any sense. So I've told this story before, but I used to buy the oils and use a lot of medicine. And I had these household cleaner, but I also had a lot of toxic cleaners. And so mixing my oils with Windex and candles and Fabuloso, like all the toxins, I was like half crunchy. We had a lot of coughs and colds, way more than we do now. But when I got on stayed on the loyalty program and slowly switched out my body products and our cleaning products. Over time, I noticed, wow, we're not coughing. We don't have skin rashes. We don't have the same health issues that we used to. So it's beautiful. And that's what our weekly classes are about. They're about empowering the woman of the home to take control of her family's health. And so, Amy, what are we teaching next week? Thank y'all for coming. And I hope that y'all will come next week also. What is next week class?
So next week is, what was next week? Oh, next week is teaching about oils of comparing oils.
Okay,
So
awesome.
basically defining, okay, what's a food grade oil? Like what's a oil that's used in food? Like what are they doing with all the plants? Essential oils are one of the ways in which they use medicinal plants.
That's
Essential
awesome.
oils
Okay.
are, yeah.
That is next week. Okay, I'm going to go through these comments right now and let's see. So Sherry said, my husband has had a bug overnight and has slept all day. Until now, he decided to turn on the pill for 10. That's funny. You're on double duty. I love the owie also for wounds and cups. And I do keep the owie. The kids, it's called the Kids Sense line. And I will say that owie is pretty magical. I don't know off the top of my head what the oils in that blend are, but you know how I told you putting lavender and purification together is a magical combination? Well, owie is just as magical. I've been amazed at how that one stops the hurting, stops the wound from being so severe. Copaiba does wonders. Jasmine brings you out of a panic attack pretty quickly. That's good to know. Okay. Yes, so many of y'all have purchased that kit. Yeah, and it's a great kit to repurchase because if you purchase the oils in that premium starter kit individually, you'll spend over $400. But if you purchase the kit, I think it's like 160, 165, and you get that diffuser. So it's always a great deal and highly recommend it. So does anybody have any questions? What do you use for dry hand skin? Um, well, first, dry hands can happen for a number, make sure you're drinking enough water and getting enough of healthy fats in your diet. A lot of times dry hands are from a low thyroid. So, of course, Genesis lotion, Young Living's Genesis lotion has MSM in it, which is very anti-inflammatory. And if your hands are dry and inflamed or they have eczema, that's the lotion I always recommend. Otherwise, the lavender lotion is fantastic, but also the rose ointment. I keep the rose ointment in my first aid kit because and the Animal Sense ointment. Those ointments are so fantastic. And I also I love ointments. Okay, can you tell that I love ointments? I also keep a lavender lip balm with me at all times. And I put that on my hands and on my eyes probably more than I use lotion. So in the afternoon, if I want to freshen up anything that's dry and I'm out and about, I just reach into my purse and I grab my lavender lip balm and I put it on my hand. I just put it everywhere because it's a balm and it's just so hydrating. But
Also, this month, or as it this month, it should be sometime in the next couple of months, I should say. We're getting the Animal Sense ointment back in the way that it used to be. So if y'all don't know, Animal Sense ointment comes in a big tub and it's very similar to the rose ointment. We loved the old Animal Sense ointment. Now it's kind of like a hard rock and most people don't really like it, but with the new one coming out soon, hopefully, you'll be able to keep that in your car and it's way cheaper because it's for
it's
animal.
silky. It's very, very silky.
Yes, you put on
I
your
do.
hands. So good.
I do like I like that one, but the middle one that we have right now, I do like that. Once you stir it up, it stays, but I am excited about that silky one. Another thing that's free this month is the dry skin serum. So look at that before you place your order and make sure you will get that dry skin serum for free. My adult daughters, that is one of their favorite skincare products. So you can also use that on your hands. Do people use lemon, peppermint, and lavender for eczema? I mean, I don't know if they do or not, but I do recommend going to Seeds of Thyme and either getting the app because the app is a diluted version of this. Then you can look up eczema or look it up in here. But I do know that the Genesis lotion is really great for eczema and also increasing your fatty oils like olive oil and coconut oil and just internally increasing those oils and avocado. And it does help your skin.
And we're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about fatty oils and
Good.
why they're different from essential oils and why they're beneficial, and then how they work together with essential oils.
Yay. Awesome. Okay. What to use for persistent dry cough? A dry cough. I would use, goodness, a dry cough. I would use, I love Raven. It is a great oil. But frankincense, I would honestly, I would get the what is that new frankincense? The phytonutrition. So phytonutrition, it's the frankincense square, the deep spectrum frankincense, which is 10 times stronger than the regular frankincense, okay? So 1 drop equals 10 drops of the other. It's amazing product, but it's married with the black seed oil. And you take it as a daily supplement. So if I had a persistent dry cough, I would invest in the phytonutrition and take it daily. And I have a feeling that you will not have the dry cough very long.
I would also get the Thieves cough drops.
Those are great.
I would also
And
get
lozenges.
Yeah, the Thieves. Well, I would personally, if it's a dry cough, I would get the cough drops. Because we have found that the lozenges work really well. I mean, they're both great, but the lozenges work best for like a dry, scratchy throat and sore throat. But the cough drops work really, really good for a cough.
It's good to
So
know.
that's just what we found.
So one thing that I think everybody should have on hand is a nebulizer breathing treatment machine. The nebulizers are so good, and you put a saline solution in it, and then you can do 1 drop of the Raven or the RC, and then you just do yourself a breathing treatment every night. You could also make shower steamers. There's plenty of recipes for shower steamers out there, or you could buy them. Young Living doesn't Young Living sell them, shower steamers?
They used to. I'm not sure if they still do.
Okay. I mean, it's one of those things that you can make for really, really cheap, and you could put a stopper in your shower and do Raven, eucalyptus, RC at the bottom of the shower daily to get that. The
Yeah.
rosemary's good, like any of that kind of stuff. But
Doing it in the shower is a game
Mhm.
changer for sure, definitely. And the other thing you can do is put it in a cup and put a towel over your head like that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 7:43 and we're committed to 45 minutes. So thank y'all for hopping on, and I hope this was helpful and useful to you. And ask the person who invited you for the PowerPoint.
Okay. We'll see y'all next
Thank
week. Invite a
you.
friend. Invite
Okay.
friends. Bye.